Motor Week is made possible by Rock Auto, Tire Rack, and 3M.
There are small cars and there are small cars. Up until recently, really small cars in America were defined by subcompacts like this Hyundai Accent. But with higher government fuel economy standards on the horizon, car makers are testing the waters with even smaller micro and mini cars, like the Smart 4.2, this Fiat 500, and our next road test, the Scion IQ. You've heard big things come in small packages. Well, the 2012 Scion IQ, though tiny in size, may just well be the next big thing in city commuting. This subcompact has a wheelbase of only 78.7 inches and is just 10 feet overall, 121.1 inches to be exact, or 14 inches longer than a Smart 4.2. Yet it's not a box on wheels like many really small cars. The IQ has more of a dull wedge shape with an almost flat front end and aggressively sloped windshield. By the way, the IQ's 16-inch wheels are also larger than most micros. Tacked on aero treatments on both front and rear bumpers help it chop through the air, while a rear window fin and spoiler lend a hand to keep the air flowing smoothly over and around the car. The interior of the IQ is best described as 3+1. The tiny shell surprised us with real car comfort for front seaters. At first glance, the twin rear seats look sorely lacking in legroom, but the right side setback of the instrument panel, there is no glove box, allows the front passenger seat to slide way forward, thus providing decent adult-sized room behind it. A child can still squeeze in behind the driver. That's what we mean by 3+1. But you do have to choose whether you want to haul people or cargo, as there's no real trunk behind the rear seats, just a small storage bin. Folding the split rear seat backs flat results in 16.7 cubic feet of cargo room. That's larger than a Toyota Corolla's trunk. Materials throughout the cabin are of good quality and control layout is very simple. How you like the radio will depend totally on how old you are. Under, say, 40, you'll love the touchscreen interface. Older, and you may need tech support. Navigation is available. As you might expect, the IQ is perfect for tight city streets. The turning diameter is only 26 feet. While visibility is not as good as we'd like, you are very close to the rear glass, so finding your place in a space is not difficult. Out on the highway, there is a lot of road noise, but the IQ still feels plenty solid, just like the Toyota Yaris on which it is based. You rarely feel out of place among 18-wheelers and preoccupied SUV drivers. But in the back of our minds, we kept worrying about the back of our heads, should we get rear-ended. Scion, however, was way ahead of us on this one with the world's first rear window airbag. With a car this small, you expect good government fuel economy ratings. And indeed they are, at 36 city and 37 highway. That's the best of any non-hybrid car. We average 37.1 miles per regular gallon in our varied commutes. And that makes for a great energy impact score of 8.9 barrels of annual oil consumption with CO2 emissions of only 4 tons per year. Less impressive were numbers at our test track. The IQ is pretty pokey to 60, taking a full 9.6 seconds. The quarter mile eventually passed in 17.4 seconds at 80 miles per hour. Not fast by any means, but we will praise the CVT transmission that almost feels like a true automatic. Slow times are to be expected when you're dealing with a 1.3-liter i4 that puts out a meager 94 horsepower and 89 pound-feet of torque. There is only one trim level for the IQ, and it starts at $15,995, but there are lots of a la carte add-ons from your Scion dealer. Micro or mini cars are not for everyone. And yes, there are larger, more practical hybrids that get better fuel economy. But the why of the 2012 Scion IQ is not really about any of that. It's about being small for the sake of being small, for those that don't live with a lot of space to start with. If that's your urban identity, then it doesn't take a genius to know that the IQ is indeed a smart choice.